What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Tom and Joey Entertainment, a.k.a. TJENT. This is Real Talk with Tom and Joey. I am one of your hosts, Joey Prokes, and alongside with me, as always,
Is me.
is Tom.
It's not Joey.
It is not Joey.
That's
It is the
my
other
name.
part of Tom and Joey.
Yeah, it's the Tom part,
The Tom part, yes.
not the Joey part.
Correct.
Or the entertainment part.
yes.
Or the real part, or the talk part.
Or
It's
the and.
just yeah, or the and. Or
That'd be
the
pretty
with.
weird if your name
It
was
was
and.
just it's just the Tom part.
Yeah. So Tom, not any of those things. How you doing?
I'm chilling.
Chilling?
Getting ready to go to Canada.
Yeah. Speaking of, we have a little housekeeping before we get
Yes.
started here. So, tell them why we have some housekeeping, Tom.
I am going overseas to Canada.
To Canada, eh?
I'm going
Shrimp
over
on the
I'm going
bobby,
over
huh?
the Atlantic, then over the Pacific, and then going to Canada.
There you go. Shrimp
Michael
on the
Scott
bobby.
style.
That's what they say in
Yeah,
that's
I
Canada,
think they
right?
speak Russian
Okay.
in Canada.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going on a camping trip, a couple friends, but it does put an implication on the Thrones.
Yes. So how it's going to work is we're going to release our second topic on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Instead
and
of
I'm coming
Wednesday.
back Wednesday.
Oh, you're coming back Wednesday.
Yeah, which I
Okay.
originally thought was Tuesday, but it's
Okay.
actually Wednesday.
Okay. So we'll release our first three topics Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thrones reaction will come just 2 days later.
Yep.
For episode 3, it'll come on Thursday, and then you'll still get that final topic along with the whole video on Friday at noon Eastern time here on YouTube.com/
TJBNT.
almost.
Oh, damn it.
Almost. ENT. TJENT.
Ah,
But it's like,
shit.
it's right there. You can't see it if you listen to us on iTunes, which is dope.
And we also have some breaking news.
Yes. What is your breaking news?
Our breaking news is decals/stickers, which we purchased yesterday.
Correct.
So
Totally forgot about it.
we did some designs, and we basically just did a quick run of 40. We did 2 designs, 20 of each, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to ship them out to all the patrons,
Yes.
which if you want to be a patron, that would be cool.
Yeah, because you donate now by the time, because we're probably not going to get them for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
I would
at
imagine.
least, yeah.
So if you get it by that time, no matter what tier you're at, $1, $2, $5, $10, you're going to get yourself a free sticker.
Yep, and you're going to like it.
Compliments of your boys.
Yep. And
Tom
like I
and
said,
Joey.
there's 2 designs, so I mean, we'll probably just we have few patrons that we could just ask which
Yeah.
one they want, and no
Mhm.
big deal. But we will have some left over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're a patron in the future, or if you want a couple extra to give them to your buddies, maybe someone who's super famous and
Yeah,
gets
that
us
would-
super
that would be
famous,
cool.
That would be preferable.
Because it also has our custom URL on there,
Truth.
which is what?
Which is bntyoutube.com patron.
Close.
Okay.
You're getting closer.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I need my notes.
Yeah.
I don't have my phone open. That's why.
YouTube.com/TJENT.
Yes.
Get that plug.
But yeah, so stickers, Thrones a little bit later. Suck it up. You'll
Canada
be okay.
A.
Canada A. I'm gonna drop a lot of A's this weekend.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
I'm be talking to
If you're an
mooses,
American in Canada, that's what you have to do. They
But-
love that, I'm sure.
and I just have to rip on them for being so polite. That seems like the natural.
I'll
thing
give you
to
my camo MAGA hat, too.
do. Oh,
you can wear
there
that
we
one.
go. There we go. Yeah.
So, yeah, just a little bit of change in the daily schedule. Not too much.
Yep.
And it's only for 1 week.
Yep.
So then we'll get back to normal schedule.
And then it'll be all back to basics until Thrones is over for good. And
Yes.
then
Yes. And then we're gonna do something new. We're gonna figure it out.
we'll react to our reaction videos.
There we go. That'll be
Boom.
great. And we'll just work our way, because then after we're done with those, we'll just react
Well,
to
all
our
our-
react videos.
Well, because we can just shit all over our hot takes that ended up being wrong.
Yeah, it ended up being completely
So
wrong.
all our predictions, we'd be like, God, we were such idiots. I can't believe we didn't see this coming.
How did we not predict that everyone was gonna die and then
Yeah.
the White Walkers were gonna win?
And Cersei was going to be the only one remaining. And she actually was the key to everything.
Cersei marries the Night King.
Yeah. It'd be a match made in heaven.
That would be pretty epic. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk with Tom and Joey every single week. Tom and I bring 2 random topics of discussion to the table for your entertainment, while most importantly, keeping it real. If you enjoy what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/TJENT, where you can throw us a few bucks of support if you'd like. That'd be really dope.
A few bucks.
A few bucks.
Just a few.
1, 2, 5, or 10, whatever
Yep.
you feel like. And if you do that, you can get some sweet ass rewards, including getting the show early
And stickers.
and stickers eventually in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But so you have time. You
Yep.
got plenty of time. No rush.
Yeah, no worries.
But if you don't want to toss us any bucks, that's all good in the hood. You can tune in every single weekday at noon Eastern time here on youtube.com/TJENT. And if you don't want to watch the videos, A lot of ands.
No big
3
deal.
already.
Yep.
If you don't want to watch the videos, that's cool. You can listen to us on iTunes, our podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud.
Yep. Any orifice.
Any orifice that you want. We are pro orifice.
Pro orifice. Stick your buds in your nose. No big deal.
As long as you get the sound, that's all that
Yep.
matters. Just search Real Talk with Tom and Joey or any combination thereof, and you will find us as long as you know our logo, which our logo is dope.
We've covered all the senses except touch. So maybe we need some stickers. Boom.
There you go. Boom.
Nope, over.
Problem solved.
Yep.
So if you don't know,
Now you know.
now you know. So Tom,
Yeah.
what's your first topic?
I'm kicking it off.
Yes, you are.
And I'm bringing the guns,
Bring in the guns.
Both-
Bring in the heat.
both literally and metaphorically speaking, because my topic is about guns.
Guns.
And not gun shows as in your gun shows.
Yee!
Literal guns. And more specifically, it's going to hit home for everyone here in Michigan because last month, the House passed a bill called constitutional carry, which I'm going to provide a little bit of context before I ask you the question. But constitutional
Give me a
carry.
chance to get my notes up here.
Yeah. Constitutional carry, essentially, for anyone that's unfamiliar, there's 3 different types of carries. There's open carry, there's concealed carry, and there's constitutional carry, which is newer. Open carry means you can have a firearm that's visible basically to the naked eye. So if I walk downtown with a shotgun strapped to my back, that would be considered open carry. Concealed carry is exactly what it sounds like. You have a gun, most likely a pistol, that's like in your waistband or something like that. It's concealed. But the caveat to that is you need a permit to do that. Constitutional carry is the exact same thing as concealed carry, but now it makes it so you don't need a permit to do that. So it already passed the House, and it's probably going to pass the Senate. And in North Carolina, it's already instituted in law. So basically, Snyder's our governor. Once it passes the Senate, he's got to sign it in. It becomes law. And essentially what that means is you can go out, you can buy a pistol, and in Michigan, you have to be 21 years or older, and you can get a handgun, and you can carry it without a permit, concealed. So that's the big difference, is the concealment or not. Obviously, gun-free zones are still in effect, so things like schools, churches, I think most malls too. You wouldn't be able to do that, but theoretically, you could go anywhere with a concealed permit. My question for you, Joey, is what does that mean for Michigan, and do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a bad idea, first and foremost. And just a little background that I looked up here of the states that now, as of right now, already passed permitless carry, so constitutional carry, are Arkansas, Arizona, Idaho, Kansas, Maine, Missouri. What's MO?
That's Missouri.
What's MS?
Mississippi.
Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, Vermont, Wyoming, West Virginia, and now Michigan. And actually, it's pretty interesting because Louisiana, I had this article right up here. Louisiana, a state that you might think would have constitutional carry, shot it down a few weeks ago. Was it a few weeks ago?
Well, and Texas doesn't have it. In Texas, you would think would be the first one to have it, but they don't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was Thursday. Okay, so May 11th, 2017. So in the beginning of May, Louisiana had it on the table to be passed, and then they shut it down.
Yep. But do you think it's a good idea?
I do not, because when you think about all these shootings that happen, all the mass shootings that happen in the country, and obviously the massive amount, and I'll pull up the stats. I had it, and I'll pull them up a little later about gun deaths just in general in the United States. Obviously, it's not an unknown topic about gun violence in the United States, and we have the most gun violence in the world here in the United States.
Well,
Obviously, it has to do with population as well.
Well, and this isn't even the topic about gun control. This is just about the bill. So this is because a whole nother issue is gun control in general, but this is more just, okay, what is constitutional carry and what does it mean for Michigan?
Fair enough. I just think it's a bad idea because the more avenues that you provide for people to carry a weapon is bad in general, like to begin with. I mean, and obviously these are just opinions.
Yep.
But I think it mostly has to do with the fact that the permit is not required, because I think the most important thing that you can do, I mean, because there's accidental shootings all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And mostly with kids.
Right.
Because kids get a hold of guns from that their parents bought and then don't know how to handle them, and then some mistake happens, and it's a tragedy that most of the time that the accidental gunfire, it has to do with kids. But I think my point with that was is that if you're not requiring a permit, that means the person's not getting the right education that they need.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad is one of the biggest gun advocates you'll ever meet. And
Does he like guns? I don't know.
I think if you looked around where we're recording
Amateur
right now,
fan.
Amateur, yes.
I'd put him in the amateur category.
But he stresses the most out of anyone of gun safety and education.
Yep.
Because learning how to use a gun and learning how to correctly use a gun, let alone carrying one out in the public, needs to be correctly educated. And if you're not getting that, and if you're not even required to do it, where you can just buy a gun and carry it around wherever you want,
Right.
that's, to me, is bad news bears.
I 100% agree.
Okay.
I think it's a god-awful idea.
Yeah, I don't see how it's a good idea.
Well,
aside from my sick and amendment rats.
here's the thing. So I took my concealed permit carry class, and it's like basically give you context. It's like 8 hours long. You basically watch all these videos about like situations that you might be put in, where you should use it, how to use it, blah blah blah. Talk about gun safety, talk about gun storage, and this topic actually got brought up in my gun safety class or concealed permit class, and the instructor, who was formerly in the military. Oh, no. He was a medic in the military. And he even said, I remember talking to him a little bit personally, and he was saying how he grew up in a family without guns, and now he carries everywhere he goes, literally everywhere. And I asked him, I was like, well, what do you think about it? And we opened it for discussion. There were some people that were all for it. And he was the first one to come out and just say flat out, this is a horrible idea. Because his point, which was my first reaction to it, was vigilante justice. Because the problem with concealed carry is meant to be a last line of defense. It's not meant to be the first interaction. So what I mean by that is, if I go out in the streets and I see a ruckus outside a bar, just because I have a gun doesn't mean that I should be using it in that situation.
Very correct.
So the purpose of it is, I'm in a back alley and someone puts a knife to my throat and says, give me your wallet, and I freak out. I don't have any money, and he comes after me and pins me down and is about to stab me. That's what it's used for, is to pull it out and save your life or save somebody else's life. Someone puts a cashier clerk up at gunpoint. Yes, that's what you're supposed to use it for. But like you said, the problem is, if you take out the permit, it's taking out the class. It's not the permit doesn't mean anything in essence. It's the method to get the permit.
Yeah.
But the argument that I've heard against that is, how much do the classes really teach
really
you?
help? Because I've heard of people having experiences where they go into class and it's pretty much just like, here's the safety. All right, you passed.
Exactly. And I will say this. I thought that I got a lot out of my class that I took, but I also know, like, I remember, I'll never forget this. There was a guy who got really winded when we were shooting at the range, because you have to shoot a certain amount of rounds to get certified. And we already got...
You have to hit like a target. Do you have to be a certain amount of accurate? Okay.
Yeah, you just have to hit the target, like, I think it was 30 times. You have to shoot it straight on, and then like from two different stances, with your right arm and with your left arm. And however many shots it takes, that's how many.
So
it
they
takes.
do they go by a percentage?
No.
Okay.
It's just, you got to hit it. I believe it's 30. Maybe it was 45.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But he already signed our certificates before we went shooting.
Gotcha.
That was done. So you were already licensed.
Yeah, you were already certified before you even shot the gun itself.
And there was a guy who was an older gentleman. He had asthma. And I remember when he was shooting, and I think he had arthritis too, because it really hurt his hand when he shot. And he got really winded, and they ended up having to like ATV him out of there.
Damn.
And he got his certificate, and the guy even pulled him aside and says, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy couldn't even shoot like 6-7 rounds without being like completely gassed. How is he going to be in a situation with, he deems life or death, and he's flailing around and can't even shoot it? Like, that to me is the definition of someone who shouldn't have a gun.
Yeah, and then that's another thing against the constitutional carry, because not only are you not getting the education, but it's the fact of the pressure situation, and it's not like they're going to ever practice or be able to practice a certain situation where you're going to be in like one of those situations where you're in public and a situation happens that you could use a concealed carry weapon. But I think the pressure of that situation and having the education at least backed to be in that pressure situation, you're not going to have people that are unprepared because if everybody's carrying guns and something happens, then there's going to be unprepared people if this, well, I
Exactly.
mean, it has passed.
Right.
So I think education along with being prepared and being at a certain maturity level to even handle a gun
Right.
is the most important things.
And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like pro or anti-gun in general, but I'm absolutely 1,000% pro responsible gun owner. Like, there's no escaping.
I'm just pro education in all facets of life.
Yeah. And to me, it's like, you know, in America, for a lot of international people, it's probably hard to understand. Like for my mom, for instance, gun culture. I mean, for her, that's really tough.
Anybody outside the United States can't really understand what the mentality around guns and the sort of infatuation with guns in the United States other than any other country.
And it's not going anywhere.
No.
So it's dumb to think that it will.
Yeah.
But I think this steps over a line of just public safety in general. And I just think that if you're in a situation where you see two people fighting on a sidewalk and one of them's a male and one of them's a female, for instance, you're driving by, you casually see it, and you see them struggling, does that give you a right to draw your firearm? No, it doesn't. But a lot of people probably would. And then all of a sudden, someone sees two people struggling and someone with a gun pointing at it and says, oh my God, I need to shoot this guy. He has a gun. Well, then all of a sudden, the guy who's trying to be the hero in all of it gets shot because he was trying to save people, but the person behind him didn't see the initial struggle. He just saw someone with a gun and two people squirming around.
Yeah.
So it just comes a matter of, there's no situation that's going to train you. And I understand people's argument, how much does the class really take? Because even in the class, I remember the trainer was telling me that I had a pretty good shot, which I've never shot before, and I didn't grow up with guns in the house. So to me, I was like, I don't know what that means. I could hit a target, sure. Played video games before, which is weird as it sounds.
Play Call of Duty.
My hand-eye coordination was probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I could aim down the sights and hit a bullseye. And he was like, yeah, you got to shoot. You should see some of the people that take this class. Man, some of them shouldn't even be carrying. And when he said that, I'm like, think about what you said.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't.
And yet you probably wrote permits for these people.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, listen, man, I understand what you're doing, and I think you're preaching public safety, but I think this crosses a line where, at the very least, even if the class doesn't do something for everybody, it at least helps.
Yeah. And I'm all for, like, obviously, I mean, we say it's like sarcastically sometimes, the Second Amendment rats.
Yeah.
But I'm all for supporting that, and I'm all for having the right to hang a pair of bear arms on your wall.
Yeah, right.
Family Guy shout out. But it's just the fact of, no matter what it states in the Constitution, no matter what the right is when it comes to guns, you have to have a limit.
Yeah.
It can't just be, well, it says in the Constitution that I have a right to hold a gun or own a gun. Then that means I should be able to have the right to own a gun and carry it wherever I want.
Yeah.
That's just, it's not the right way to do it. And the only way that you're going to help against gun violence, and specifically accidental gun violence, the best way that you're going to do that is through thorough and what's the word I'm looking for? Extensive education when it comes to gun safety.
And I mean, I don't want to sound like we're just shitting all over this bill, but I really do think that this is a safety issue.
Yeah.
That I would hope.
I'll gladly shit all over this bill.
I mean, I just don't think this is a good idea, and I think it endangers a lot of people that don't need to be in danger. And listen, I understand how freaky it is when you come home and your stuff's all jumbled up and you're like, holy crap, we got robbed. I know how crappy that feeling is, how pissed off you are.
Mm-hmm.
And, people in my family, my sister was mugged on a subway. My aunt was mugged, not in this country, but she still was. Those things do happen. But I would ask people to take a step back and just ask themselves, listen, if I had a firearm on me, how much would it change the situation? And I guess that's probably a question for a different topic.
The whole argument behind, like, is if the other side had guns and bullets were flying the other way, the situation would be different. That whole argument is just bullshit.
Yeah, and that's probably a topic for another day to talk about. But I don't see how constitutional carry puts the favor in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm getting at, is if you're put in a situation where you feel like you need a gun, I'm sorry, first of all, that you're in that situation. But if you feel like you're in that situation, think about the millions of other situations that were developed because all of a sudden people don't even need a permit anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you need a driver's license to drive a car. To me, it seems pretty reasonable to say you need a permit to carry a gun in your pants.
No shit.
You know, you need to be of a certain age to drink alcohol. You can't smoke pot, but you can just carry a gun as long as you hit a certain age limit.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit
Without any education.
Yeah, that seems pretty. And the thing is, like we said, there's so many guns in households now that people probably do get like educations from their families, but I don't want to bank on that.
No, and let alone bank on that to the point where I'm banking on it enough to let these people carry guns out in public.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's tough. I always try and put myself in other people's shoes, and I do understand. Oh, how much does it help? How much does it not help?
Mm-hmm.
But I would counter that with how much does the bill help? Because we have a gun problem now. How much will constitutional carry lessen that?
And not to mention, you have more and more people that are carrying guns and having them concealed. And it's just common sense to link that gun violence, not necessarily, I can't say without a doubt that it would rise, but you're raising the amount of people that are concealing weapons, and you're raising the amount of people that can, or the amount of locations that they can take these weapons. And you look at all the mass shootings that happen in this country, they're all of an enclosed area, and someone hides a weapon and gets it into a building. I mean, that the Orlando nightclub shooting, and especially the movie theater in Colorado,
the Fort Lauderdale baggage claim. I mean, I don't even think he killed like 4 people.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember the details now that I think about it, but still, he built the gun in the bathroom out of luggage.
Yeah, so I mean, you increase the amount of places where people can carry concealed weapons, and you're going to have extensive issues, because especially if they're not having this education, and what if, even some people that get the education shouldn't still have a gun, but let alone if you don't have the education, and maybe you're not even, it would still have background checks, so I guess that wouldn't, to get the gun in the beginning.
Right, yeah.
So that, I guess the background check argument wouldn't necessarily work, but it's just the simple fact of putting more guns into more people's hands, and not only putting more guns into more people's hands, but putting more guns in uneducated, concealed hands is just not a good idea by any means.
That being said, shooting is a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, target shooting is a blast.
It's absolutely a blast. And
I don't care what anybody says, Call of Duty has helped me a little bit, because I've gone out to the range with my pops with like long shot rifles. And
super fun.
It's just like you do everything and you're pointing.
Every single time.
Like I'm just clicking R3,
bolt
man.
action slide. It's just
so much fun.
Yes, guns are fun when they are enjoyed safely.
And
responsibly. I don't think this bill is safe and responsible.
I don't have a problem with people having guns out in the middle of the woods target shooting, but if you're carrying around in the mall, let alone everybody's carrying around in the mall
next to me,
and
and I'm
I'm straight.
Yep,
I'm good on that.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.